Hi guys, how we doing? So, we spent the last video getting this guy his belly and the beginning of the details going. So this time around, we're going to do his streaks because leopard frogs tend to have a brownish streak down each side and then a smaller one on the inside. And these actually tend to run all the way up to behind their eyes. So let's see if we can make this look good. I've spent some time trying to recreate the color as truly as possible. Once again, it is really tricky to create colors, but it's a lot of fun too. So let's start. And I think he might have been a leopard frog in his past life because he does actually have the markings. Just a little bit there you can kind of see. So it's obviously going to have to create it on that side a little bit where he was so very broken. So I do have a little guest with me today. My cat Hannah has decided she's going to sit in here with me today. I don't tend to shove her away off when she wants to spend the time. She's well behaved and usually doesn't bother anybody, but you might hear her speak up a little here and there. So we're starting to get there. This is where it's going to get a little bit tricky, is coming up the back of his head and around to his eye. It usually comes up to like this. And then he'll have some other things coming around behind his eyes as well. But we're starting. He's come a long way from being a few pieces of frog, that's for sure. And these don't have to be perfect. Once again, nature is not perfect. That's what makes it so awesome. And this little gentleman hasn't been perfectly perfect in a very long time. And I don't think it's fair to try and make him be something he's not meant to be. Oh, shoot. You know what? That wasn't supposed to happen, but we're going to go with it. I just realized I connected his middle line instead of the main one, so we're going to go with it. He'll have unique markings. Which I gotta be honest and say I don't hate that. Once he has his spots, he'll look really, really cool. I think we're going to just softly soften up these lines a little bit because hard lines aren't really a thing all that often. If you do hear a little bit of a buzzing noise, my phone is going off in my pocket, but I'm pretty sure that's a game I play at the moment, so we're gonna go with that. I am also getting some messages and stuff. My boyfriend has run into some car trouble in another state, so everybody's checking up on him, making sure he's doing all right. It's always fun when you're out towing a car and your serpentine belt just decides it doesn't feel like doing its job anymore. But that's the way things go sometimes. And I think I am actually going to use this brown to start kind of lining his mouth a little bit, because they do tend to have a darker lip. This really came out to be a neat color, didn't it? I just kept throwing colors at it until I found the one I wanted. And sometimes that's just what you have to do. You gotta just keep adding until you find the tone you're really looking for. It's a great thing with color. There you go, in his little cute little dimples there a little bit. Now we've got the beginnings of that. And now, if you remember last time, I dry brushed this just a little bit. Why don't we, well, if I can get my brush to dry a little bit. We don't want it dark. I just want to come along. And just add the barest hint of this color along the edges of his belly mark here. He's going to be a lot of layers of color, but I think he's going to be amazing once he's done. And like I mentioned last time, I would love to hear the stories you guys could come up with for what happened to him. Who was he before? What happened to cause him to be in pieces and so fragile? And who do you think he's going to be? What's his personality once he's all done and fixed up? Let's see, that softens that line up so nicely. Let's just go over top of this a little bit. Oops, that was a little more than I meant to do. I get these little palettes. I get mine on Amazon, but you can also get them just about anywhere you can get art supplies. I definitely recommend investing in them. They're handy, they're washable if you have the patience for that, or you can do what I do and just buy a huge pack of them at a time. And I actually do keep them because you get some really fun color mixes. And let's see if I can get in here and grab them. They actually make neat things to hang to give you different looks and craziness and fun things. And sometimes when you just stick them aside, you realize you have one that has a lot more open holes so you can still use. I'm not a big fan of just throwing things away just because they served their initial purpose. But that's just me. Everybody has their way of doing things, and who's to say whose way is right or wrong? Let's give him a little color on his toes. See, he's starting to come together a little bit, isn't he? And I think, actually, we're going to continue that process right here. Just a little bit of character around the eyes. These frogs really do have a lot of neat colors to them, so you can have a lot of fun when you decide to pick an animal like that and recreate it. Especially when your character is not precisely a natural looking frog. But I think this is where we're going to leave him for today. We're going to let that dry. And when we come in next time, we're going to start on his spots. So I will see you guys next time.